Oh, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Thursday. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us right here. Fantasy Life on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. Kendall, Valenzuela, Adam Ronis with you for the next couple of hours, breaking down all things Thursday night football. Adam, we should have an okay game tonight. Well, you have softball, so you're not even. That's how bad the game could get. Is that Adam's playing softball during the middle of it? But regardless, we're gonna break it down. We've got rankings, risers, and fallers. We've got a lot to get through going into week 10, and of course, answering everyone's questions today. Adam, how's it going? How you doing?
It's good. Made it through the heavy winds last night. It wasn't
Oh,
as bad. I think it
nice.
was after. Yeah, there's some heavy winds on the East Coast, but
Because you had a
yeah,
game last night, softball
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Okay.
And like you said, another one tonight. So yeah, I'll probably miss like the first half. So on the drive home, I'll be listening on
Feel like you
Sirius
won't miss
XM.
much, right?
Well,
It
I
should
don't
be
know. It's a
okay.
division game. I don't know. This is a weird game because the Raiders are coming off an overtime game, on a
Hmm.
short week
That they
where
should have won
they
too.
played the entire overtime too. I think that
Hmm.
game was what with 14 seconds left in the
Yeah.
overtime that it ended. So now you have a short week on the road going to Denver in the high altitude, but it is also a divisional game. Denver has just not looked good at times. Even last week, I mean, they escaped with a win. So yeah, it's interesting because I think everyone thinks, oh yeah, Denver's going to win this game, but it could be close.
Yeah, and we're going to see a Las Vegas team without, not that Jacoby Myers was out there, making huge differences, but I am interested to see the splits and what it looks like with, every other receiver there. I'm sure out of all the guys we talked about, maybe it'll be Tyler Lockett at the end of the day getting the biggest boost. But yeah, you've got some solid players too going out tonight. You've got Genty, J.K. Dobbins, Cortland Sutton, Brock Bowers. So there's some good lineup blocks in this one too. I just want a lot of fantasy points. That's all I need.
You have a
That's
lot
it.
of players in this game.
No, I just want a lot from Brock Bowers.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the only. I have a little bit of Troy Franklin,
I
but he's
do.
actually in more guillotine league formats. But he's been, for the past couple of weeks, he's actually been all right.
Yeah, I have Franklin in one league or two.
You
I
starting
do.
him?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
have J.K. Dobbins as well in a couple, and no one on the Vegas side. I don't have any Brock
No one?
Bowers this year.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't get. Well, Genty wouldn't have been in the range that you were usually picking in either. You would have had to
Just
kind of
best
reach
ball
for
for
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Troy Franklin over the last couple. So last week not necessarily amazing. That was against Houston 8.3, but he had that spike 26.9, 12.9 in week 7. So for the last 3 weeks he's been really involved. It's been good.
Yeah, and they've been, taking shots to him deep as well.
Mhm.
And, there's been talk that his targets are close to Sutton. I think a lot of that is Sutton gets the top cover corner. Last week it was Stingley, so that's why you didn't see him have a big game. So I would expect Sutton to have a better game tonight.
Yeah, it should be. Let's just say it should be a good one. But we've got some news to talk about too before we break down that game. Starting with one, Kyler Murray. You ready to continue talking about Kyler Murray until we just can't anymore? So Kyler Murray was placed on IR with his foot injury. So I think that puts to rest, or they're trying to put that to rest and say, hey, listen, this is not a quarterback controversy. Kyler Murray is actually very hurt. We're placing him on IR. So he is going to go on IR and rehab that foot injury that he suffered. And that was back in week 5, I want to say. So now we're 5 weeks later, and he's going to go and do that. That was per head coach Jonathan Gannon. So he said the injury is not season ending, and he said that he will have a chance to return if his foot does get healthy. So at minimum, you're missing Kyler Murray for 4 weeks. You've been missing him for a while though now, Adam. And I think this is just one where they turned to Jacoby Brissett. We broke down, what he kind of means to this team yesterday, but overall, still an upgrade for our fantasy teams nonetheless.
Yes, for obviously Trey McBride, who now scores touchdowns on a consistent
Woo!
basis, and also Marvin Harrison as well. So you're happy about this if you have those players. And if you had Murray, you clearly have been getting by with someone else anyway, since he's missed
Yeah.
time and he's been a disappointment or just erratic when he plays. With Brissett, I know there's excitement, and he has been a QB1 in each of his 3 starts that he's made, but this
Yeah.
is going to be a tough matchup this week. I do not see him finishing as a QB1 this week against the Seahawks.
It's going to be a tough game. Let's just say that, because not only is it just we have to just take into consideration it's a divisional game, which those ones just like the one tonight gets a little bit weird, but yeah, Jacoby Brissett definitely was not a rank. Let's just say he wasn't a rankings riser for me. He's someone that I said, okay, if you're really in a desperate spot, which I think a few people might be, to be totally honest, Adam, like some people might have to look at this and say, I just need to go to Jacoby Brissett. But he's had at least better splits, when we're talking about passing yards per game, like you said, the touchdowns, everything else that he's brought to this team. So you can at least hang your hat on that. But if you can go a different direction, I would definitely try. Let me see where we have him consensus wise at Fantasy Life. And that is where you can go, fantasylife.com, to go and check those out. But you just might have better options. Like Jared Goff's ahead of him, Sam Darnold, Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy, even. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
So he's
again,
QB 18 consensus.
yeah, I don't think you want to go against the Seattle defense. And look, maybe he surprises us. I think last week was easy. Once you knew he was the starter, it was an easy player to get in your lineup going against the Cowboys. But you really don't want to go against the Seattle defense if you don't have to.
No. And Seattle's gonna continue. What's the score in that game? What's the over under in that game?
45.5.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Kyler Murray. Do you think we see him again this year?
Oh, that's a good question.
You can just say no. It's
Probably,
okay.
probably not, right?
4 weeks.
What happened is they probably said, "Look, you can just go play your video games, go on IR."
You're
and
horrible.
so we don't make this look bad. We know Jacoby's better than you. You know it. Just go sit at home.
They said, I will say, Gannon said the Cardinals will, make sure to take a look when his foot gets healthy, that Murray will have a chance to return. So
You
we'll
believe
see.
that?
No, not
Okay.
really. Well, I just think the foot injury is going to be an issue all season, right? But if they're going this direction, I fully do believe that they will try and get the money worked out, and that he will not be on this team next year. You can't go to these lengths, even though I do actually, but you know me, I'm a positive person, so I believe everything the coaches tell us. Even though I do believe, to a certain extent, there is a foot injury going on with him, I just don't think you go to these lengths and you put someone on IR and do all this stuff and say, we're going to keep you next season. I think he's on the move.
It's just weird. They made it seem like he was close last week.
I know. And now he's on IR.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just it's a weird situation. I can understand. How about this? I can understand why people said it was a soft benching before, and that the foot injury, it came up all of a sudden, and then now it's 4 weeks on IR. So he's eligible to return in week 14 against the Los Angeles Rams, December 7th. So we'll see if he is able to go ahead and do that. The next one here is CJ Stroud. He was already ruled out. We kind of probably expected that with this team. That was a brutal hit he took last week. And so you could tell that it just wasn't good. He was in the concussion protocol, still is technically in the concussion protocol. So he will be out Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars because of that concussion. Davis Mills will get the start here. Adam, you guys do not need to go and look at where he ranks for us. He is dead last in quarterback rankings, QB 30 for the week. So you do not have to go out and stream him. He is not even going to be close to an option. But yeah, we're going to see how CJ Stroud progresses throughout the week. But he obviously for this week didn't progress enough. And so they're going to turn to him. Downgrade for the whole offense. It's sad. It's not good.
Yeah, look, you'll start Nico Collins and just maybe lower expectations, although he did have a good chunk of his yardage last week with Mills, and Mills has some experience. The total in this game is very low. The line is flipped to now Jacksonville's a short favorite. 37.5 points is the total in this game. So
Yuck.
not expecting much offense here. We did see Dalton Schultz solid with Davis Mills. So maybe if you're streaming a tight end, you can do that. But outside of that, in the receiving game, you're not really looking at much. And Nick Chubb, though, was on the injury report and missed practice yesterday. It is a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. But if he is out, that certainly would give you more confidence starting Woody Marks.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a tough assignment for anyone. On when I'm looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars players going over to Houston, but Houston as well is just not necessarily a team that we say, oh, start everyone that you can. I did see Schultz as a riser for this week as well. He's actually tied for second in tight end receptions over the past 3 weeks. if you can believe that, because I had to go make sure that I had to go make sure that that stat was correct before I said it. But yeah, this is a good matchup going up against Jacksonville, at least for him. They just allowed, not that it's the same, but they just allowed Brock Bowers to have that 43.3 fantasy point game. So I think it shows that Jacksonville has obvious issues defending the tight end position, and they've allowed the league worst 28.7 fantasy points per game to tight ends since week 6. Of course, a lot of that comes with Brock Bowers, but maybe Dalton Schultz, a good streamer. Maybe I need to go pick him up
Yeah, he has
because
at
my
least.
Tucker Craft teams are,
Yeah, that's
ugh,
brutal.
it's
Yeah, I had
awful.
to drop him last night.
Horrible.
Was not
I'm
fun.
keeping him on one because I've got that IR spot, just to let him know that we're going to get a championship together. I like to do that sometimes.
Do you? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess, right?
Come
Just so when
on.
people look at your roster, they're like,
You
"Oh,
can
wow,
say
they had Kraft, they had Neighbors,"
you know me so well.
Uh,
It's like, wow, she had it at the beginning and then it just fell off. Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
did that at
happened.
my home league. I have Neighbors, so we got 5 IR spots. So he's on there, just providing some inspiration and
Oh
cheering from
my
the sideline.
gosh. Exactly. You have to keep them around to get them a ring. Anyway, yeah, Dalton Schultz could be a good one.
Yeah, at least 60 receiving yards in 3 of the last 4 games. He's got 21 targets over the last 3 games. So he's been involved. And we saw last week, 6 for 77 on 8 targets, coming mostly with Mills. Yeah, because Stroud, yeah, he played. Was that the first quarter, second quarter? And
I
it was
can't
really not
remember.
the hit. It was him when he slid. His head hit the
Well, it was
ground.
him
It
hitting,
wasn't.
yeah,
It
going
wasn't like a
backwards.
brutal hit. It was just his head slammed to the
No, it
turf
was just the momentum where
because they called a
he hit
penalty initially
backwards.
and picked up the flag.
Yeah, it just didn't look good.
Yeah,
It
no, it
just
definitely didn't look good.
you could tell that it wasn't right. So, yeah, I think and then on the other side, since we're on this game really quickly here, again, Houston Texans are going to be starting Mills for this game. CJ Stroud is out for this one. Houston is at home facing Jacksonville. You said Jacksonville now a slight favorite in this one, but this is also, on the other side, a tough assignment for any of those wide receivers for Jacksonville, to be totally fair. I mean, this defense can keep them in this game. What do you think we see with the news that we got, whatever it was now, yesterday or 2 days ago, about Jacoby Myers going over there? Like, if you have Jacoby Myers, you're starting him. If you picked up Parker Washington, though, are you still willing to start him if we see that Brian Thomas Jr. isn't out there?
Yeah, I think I will. I think he's wide receiver 3. They've said that Parker Washington's going to be in the slot. So
Okay.
if he remains there, then yeah, we know Diami Brown dealing with a concussion. We'll have to see if Brian Thomas plays. My guess is he doesn't at this point. I know he didn't
Yeah, he didn't
practice.
practice
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah, again, the Wednesday practice, especially any veteran or player coming off an injury, usually not going to practice on Wednesday. He might not even practice today. Tomorrow will be key. But yeah, I think you can roll with Parker Washington. I mean, he is the guy that has been there and established that rapport with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
With Myers, it could take some time. You see that receivers coming from another team. The one thing, though, that Myers brings is he doesn't drop passes. That's been a big issue for Jacksonville this year. They have dropped a lot of passes.
Yeah. And Houston, they've given up the second fewest fantasy points,
Yeah,
lowest
it's a
catch
tough
rate,
matchup.
54%. They've only given up 4 touchdowns to wide receivers this season. I mean, they've been really good. And so Brian Thomas Jr., I know from experience because I have him on too many teams, been held to 12 or fewer fantasy points, 7 of 8 games, only targeted 5 times last week. I think he's still a wide receiver 3. If you have him, you're playing him. And then Parker Washington as a streamer, I believe as well. Jacoby Myers, I'm just interested to see how they use him. They're trying to tell us that he's not a short-term rental here, Adam, that he's going to be part of this team going forward, not just this season. So I'm really curious to see how they use him out there.
Yeah,
How he looks, I should say.
I think Washington's the better start this week.
Parker Washington?
Yeah,
Yeah.
over Jacoby. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same. And it's just, yeah, we'll just have to figure this out. Okay, I want to continue on here and just continue going through just a little bit. I didn't see, so there was a lot of news yesterday about practice reports, Adam, that I just wanted to hit, but we have to remember the Wednesday practice reports are a little bit different than what we see today and tomorrow. So the big ones that I saw were that Aaron Jones did not practice yesterday. So that's one that we have to watch out for. Garrett Wilson was practicing. And then the big one was that James Cook didn't practice. And I want to talk about the James Cook one if that makes you a little bit nervous at all. So he's dealing with an ankle and a foot injury. And I think this is a little bit of a surprise after he looked fully healthy in week 9. That was the Chiefs. Again, you always say this. We see guys come up on the injury report with things that we just weren't expecting on a Wednesday. And we kind of saw that yesterday. So James Cook is the one that I just want to mention. Saw him not practice yesterday. We want to make sure he practices today or tomorrow. But just a good reason to always have those backup running backs as well. Like Ray Davis would step up into a huge role if for whatever reason James Cook wasn't able to go this weekend.
Yeah, so apparently that injury occurred in the first quarter, and then he played through it. So
Really?
yeah,
The ankle foot? Wow. Okay.
yeah, there
Well,
was
he
some
looked
video
good.
of it. Yeah, exactly.
It was like so confusing.
But sometimes there's adrenaline, and you get
Yeah.
through it, and then obviously that night of, a couple days after, it starts to swell. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really worried about it yet.
Okay.
Clearly, my guess is you would see Ray Davis as the feature back, and then
That's
Ty
what I
Johnson
think.
remains in his third down role. So I have seen people picking up Ray Davis yesterday,
Mhm.
whether it's the waiver wire or first come first serve. When people saw the news break, they immediately went. I don't play in a lot of first come first serve leagues,
I don't
which
either. I would kind of wish I did though, because we'd be on top of that.
yeah, most of the time. You know what it is? I forget sometimes they're lesser leagues, the ones that I'm in. So I forget because I'm so used to
Oh,
just playing the
you
waiver
could just
wire.
scoop them up then.
I know.
Come on. What are you
Like our
doing?
like
I
our
don't have
charity
any
league, I
leagues like
forget about that league,
Oh, I
and then
forgot
someone
about
picked
that
them up.
too. Dang it. Got to be more on top of it. But that was just one that caught my attention yesterday. We'll see. Again, it's way more important today and tomorrow. But wow, he really got that injury, yeah, in at the first quarter of that game. That's
Yeah, and
insane. And
played
he
through
looked
it,
great.
so
Well, there we
that
go.
doesn't mean, though, he'll play this week. I mean, it's
No, it
easy to
doesn't.
say,
You have to
but
be careful. These late injuries on a Wednesday are things you have to pay attention to. So we'll continue looking at that one. I want to go through rankings, risers, and fallers. Want to talk more about Matthew Stafford, get a look at J.K. Dobbins tonight. And I see a ton of questions coming in for tonight as well. So at K Valenzuela 17, at Adam Ronis over there on X is where you can go to send us your questions, and we'll try and get to as many as we can. We're going to go through rankings, risers, and fallers here. Coming up, though, next. We do have all the tools at fantasylife.com. That's where you can go to check out everything. Fantasylife.com. We've got our rankings, risers, and fallers. We've got our utilization report, everything that you need. Use that code SXM20. Gets you 20% off any Fantasy Life Plus subscription over there because we've got the best listeners. I was muted there, Adam. It's like my first day of work here.
I know you didn't need to say that. No
Why
one
didn't you
would have
say
known.
anything to me? Come on. I always tell you.
I saw that Brian
Wasn't
said
even
something.
paying- you weren't
Yes, I
even paying-
did.
No, you weren't. You saw me talking for 20 seconds. I love it. Whatever. That's fine. I'll remember that for the future. I had a great intro, and now I've ruined it.
No, you
Rankings
didn't.
rising.
By the way, before we move on,
What?
we have a
Oh.
little bet that's being placed. So we
Do
need
we?
some. Yes.
Okay.
Someone wants me
I've
to
never
test your
heard this.
knowledge on something. So I have a
Oh,
question for you.
great. Here we go. Is
How
it about
many?
a movie?
Yeah, it is.
No.
You got to do it. So how many actors can you name that played Batman?
Don't. Why would you do this?
Because I was asked to do it.
Don't. Why do we have to start the show like this?
We're not starting the show. It's
Who
the
sent
second
this
segment.
in? Who sent this in?
I cannot reveal sources.
No, who sent this in?
So
Was this Nando?
can you answer it, please?
Christian Bale.
Okay.
I know that's one,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Uh,
The over under was 1.5. So let's go.
I only know that one. I'm
Okay.
gonna be totally honest with you. Who said that? Why
Don't
do we
worry
always
about
talk
it.
like this? I know the Christian Bale one. There's definitely yeah, no. Just
All
you can
right.
tell it to me.
Well, Tim
me
said he
another one.
thinks he has 3. I would have gotten like 4.
What are we doing? Is this what we're gonna do the rest of the show?
We
Okay,
can
go
if
ahead.
you
Go
want,
ahead and
but
name them.
no.
Go ahead and name them.
Ben Affleck,
Besides Christian
Adam
Bale.
West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer,
Wow.
Clooney.
Clooney?
hmm
Really? How many are there?
There's a lot. I couldn't
No
name
kidding.
them all.
Is Robert Pattinson one?
Yes.
I was gonna. Oh, okay. He was in
That's
Twilight.
that is funny
I know
because I
you've
think
watched
that
Twilight.
was told that was one of them that they thought you would get.
I should have said it. I just didn't know if that was.
See, you should have just said it. There you go.
I only remember him for Twilight. You watch Twilight?
No,
I know you do. Come on.
I don't.
Wow,
I've
there's
never
a
seen
lot
it.
of There's a lot of Batmans.
Yes, there are.
Oh my gosh. I should watch them. Just kidding. I'm not going to. Sorry, everyone. I watched The Dark Knight. That's a good movie. That's the one I know.
I didn't see that one. Did I see it?
What?
No,
You had to have seen that one.
I didn't. No.
It's like the best one. I've only watched one. So it's the best one to me. What do you mean? Okay, well this is fun. No more movie trivia. I
I
can't
thought aren't you a big movie person though?
not superhero stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not very good. And I'll get better at it, but yeah, I haven't seen like any of anything. Any of anything. I haven't seen it. So don't quiz me on those.
All right. I'm sorry.
You can quiz
It
me.
was a request.
That's
You're mad.
fine.
Don't
Just
be mad at me.
keep the requests coming. I named two, technically. 1.5 really is what I was able to do.
Yeah. Well, technically, if we're scoring the books, the under hit.
That's true. That's fair. You can test our knowledge though on rankings, rises, and fallers. How about that?
Yes, I think you'll do
week
way
10.
better on
Look
that.
at us. Look at us go. All right. Matthew Stafford, I will say mid-range QB1 for week 10. Adam, we've talked about him a good amount this week and just our expectations for him. And over the first half of the season, he's just looked really, really good. Passing yards per game at 269, passing touchdowns per game at 2.5, which is second in the NFL. So you add it all up, our projections at fantasylife.com, Xfinity best ceiling score 22.7 for this weekend. Median is sitting at 18.9. So he's my QB 8 for the week. And I'm perfectly happy with him staying there.
I think if you have Stafford right now, you're really happy. You likely picked him up off the waiver wire too. I don't think he was drafted in many leagues, even
I don't think so. Maybe
Yeah.
a second quarterback. That's the only thing I could see. Because a lot of people sometimes like to get those second QBs when they don't need to.
If every person in the league took a QB2, he might have been drafted. But there are some, especially if you took one of the elite guys, you might not have taken a backup in a league with 16 roster spots. I think in leagues with 20 or even 18, almost everyone takes a backup, which I usually do too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's QB9 in fantasy points per game. He's playing great right now. And San Francisco's defense has been getting picked on. They just have a lot of injuries. So it's a good matchup. And he just faced them that Thursday night game. And I think he had a big game in that one too, right? Didn't he have like 389? Yeah, 389 and 3
me on
touchdowns.
more stuff that I don't have in front of me. Come
Oh
on.
no, this one that we didn't bet on this, so you don't have to worry.
Okay. What was the bet? Wait, what did you get?
The over under was 1.5 of.
I thought you actually bet something.
I didn't bet. No,
Oh,
it was
okay.
other people that were.
Who was it? Wait, I want to be involved. Is there a group chat going? What's happening? What's going on? No, but yeah, Matthew, you're right about that game from Stafford. He's just had, there's been a couple down games, and then the last one was week 6 against Baltimore. He had 9.3 fantasy points, but other than that, he's been very solid.
Yeah, multiple touchdowns in 4 of the last 5 games. Actually, no, 6 of the last 7 multiple touchdowns. So yeah, the only bad game was the Ravens game, 181 and a touchdown. So yeah, he's been getting it done, and it looks like Puka Nacua should be good to go too. So that helps, and then Devontae Adams in the red zone. So yeah, this team is rolling right now. And yeah, this is a game the Rams need to have after losing to the 49ers that first time. Which
now that looks, well, I guess they were healthier that week, but
no, it was weird. I don't know what happened that game, but it definitely knocked a lot of people out of Survivor, including me.
Yeah, I haven't looked at who I'm going to take this week. It's a
tough week. So
low scoring games.
I think the Broncos are going to be popular tonight. That worries me a little bit. I already picked them, so I can't go with them anyway. I think the Bills will be a team. I know they're on the road, but they're playing Miami. And I think the Panthers could be popular too.
I might take, the Lions don't sound great either. Lions on the road against the Commanders.
Yeah, look, they should win that. I can't see them losing that game.
Yeah, we say that, and then we come in on Monday and say, well, our teams
If the Lions lose this game, then they are not contenders.
I'm surprised, and I know, again, those games get a little bit fluky, but I'm surprised at the outcome of the game last week coming off their bye. I want to know what Dan Campbell's record was coming off the bye, because it was probably pretty good in the win-loss category. So, yeah, that might be one I'm eyeing, because I actually haven't taken the Lions yet, which I'm surprised about, but I could also wait. They're next. So they play the Commanders, then they are on the road against the Eagles, then they're at home against the Giants, which you could wait 3 weeks there. And then they play the Packers. So, or December 4th going up against your Dallas Cowboys. Maybe that's what I wait for. It's too long though.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at Detroit. I think the other team, I think Seattle is a team people will look at too. I know it's a
I don't want to
divisional
take
game.
I know they're going to do fine, but they still, and I've already taken them, I will say, but they still just a little bit nervous about those divisional games. You never know how those go.
Yeah, I think though people are looking at what Arizona did last week and inflating them. It was
Mm,
Dallas Cowboys.
yeah, no, it's
Well,
fair.
again, they have played a lot of competitive games and they are more of a threat with Jacoby Brissett. Who would have thought that, right?
Who would have thought? Not me,
Would
not us.
you feel confident taking the Panthers? Like
No.
this might be the only week you use them too.
Uh,
Home against the Saints.
I guess.
I think them, Denver, Seattle, and the Bills will be the popular teams.
God, the Carolina Panthers are 5-4. You're right.
I
This is
know.
probably the only because the rest of the way there's no. Well, they play the Saints again, but you have to wait till December
And
14th.
that's on the road.
And that's on the road. Should we just say screw it and pick the Panthers
I
together? I
don't
think
know
you
if I'm going to
should.
do it.
I think you should for the content for the
Right
show.
now, my pick is Seattle. That's who I
I'd say
have in.
switch it to the Panthers for the show.
Really?
Yeah, why
No,
not?
because then if it loses, I am going to absolutely obliterate you for every week
Why?
going in.
What do you mean?
You don't want to do
I mean,
that.
you're doing it for the show, for the people listening, so they don't have to, and you could ride that one out for them. Come on.
Are you taking Carolina in yours?
Yeah, I'll take Carolina. I'll take Carolina with you. What could go wrong?
Nothing. It's the Panthers, of course, with Bryce Young. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, on the Lions, Jameson Williams, I should say. He is a little bit of a riser for us, but I just want to talk about again how big of a massive disappointment that he's been so far this season. And it's been getting worse, to be honest. His target share has gone from 18% to 15%. And the ADOT, though, the other side of that, average depth of target has gone from 12.4 to 15. So he's kind of going back into that role where he's just limited as a deep threat guy on this team. Do you think that changes at all? This is a better game for him this weekend. So that's why I said he's a little bit of a riser, but man, not by much.
This is a really good matchup for him. So if there's any week you want to use him, it's probably this one because Washington's giving up the deep ball. And they did talk about last week how they failed and they wanted to get him more involved. And it really took till late in the game when he got that touchdown for him to come through because if not, we were looking at another down game. He's been very frustrating this year. It is insane. Do you know how many receptions he has on the season
Oh
in 8
gosh.
games?
How many?
21.
I couldn't even. Ooh. I was
mean,
gonna
that
say
is
30.
less than 3 per game. So at least last year, like we talked about it going into the year, that last year, despite the low receptions, he had, I think he had 1,000 yards, right? Just slightly over 1,000
I
yards.
think so.
But he was like a
Yeah.
wide receiver 24. Yeah, he had 1,001. He was wide receiver
That's
24 in points per game in PPR formats last year. So it wasn't that bad, but it's way worse. Like he's on pace for a worse season.
no, it's
And
bad.
I mean, look, the offensive coordinator changed with Ben Johnson leaving. That's probably a factor, but they paid him a lot of money. Again, this is why you got to be careful when you go follow the money. They paid him a lot of money, and it is not translated at all on the field.
Not at all. Not at all. Jared Goff is also one. Since we're still talking about the Lions, he's my QB 17. Or no, he is the QB 17 in fantasy points per game so far this season. 17.5 fantasy points for him, but he has risen up to QB 12 for me. So he is cracking the top 12 this week with that game against the Commanders. So maybe an upgrade for everyone over there. They need to get
Well,
right game, and this might be it.
oh, they definitely do. I mean, this is a game they got to put up 40. I mean,
No
for
kidding.
real. Because the fact that they are 5-3 is kind of shocking to me.
I know.
I
After what
know
we
it's a tough
expected.
division, but this is not what we expected. I mean, look, they lost to the Vikings, which I don't know if you consider that a bad loss, but McCarthy's first game back, they were at home. You don't expect them to lose a game like that. And as you mentioned, coming off the bye, losing to the Chiefs, okay, and then they lost to Green Bay in opening week. But some of their wins too haven't been over great teams, so they got to show us something here.
They got to get going. We've got more guys that I want to talk about, rankings, risers, fallers, and some of the biggest questions for week 10. I want to talk about Jacksonville here again, talk about the Seattle running backs. Who is Buffalo's RB1 if James Cook does sit this one out, and our expectations for Garrett Wilson's return? What did you see? Did you see something?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought I missed it. All right. You've got me all paranoid now because you're,
don't be
you're quizzing
paranoid.
me. You're quizzing me on movies. Someone send me a movie quiz for Adam, and I'll
I'll
read it
probably
in the
fail.
break. Yeah, you don't watch many movies.
No, I'm more shows. More
Okay,
shows now than movies.
someone send me a trivia question for Adam here, and let's see if we can get him. All right, we're gonna do all of that and more here coming up next. All right, guys, I want to talk to you about Huel again because Huel is the drink that you need to know about. Sometimes you go to 18 inning baseball games, like myself just a week ago. But you never want to skip a meal. That's the one thing that I don't want to do. Sometimes you just get really, really busy setting your fantasy lineups, going to the waiver wire, all that stuff that happens during the year. But you don't want to skip a meal. And that's why I'm so glad that I found Huel because in these drinks, you don't have to worry about the sugar. If you're going to be hungry the next day or in the next 20 minutes, I should say, their be ready to drink shakes have 35 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 essential vitamins and minerals. And let me show you. This is the one that I want Adam to try next because I have it right next to me. It's the chocolate peanut butter flavor. So they have everything that you need, no added sugar, gluten free, and under $5 per meal. Again, my personal favorite, the chocolate peanut butter. Adam, take notes. I see you watching right now. You need this one. They also have daily greens. That's the other thing that I absolutely love. So, just like I said last week, when Adam's not eating his vegetables, sometimes you have to make sure that you go and get all that stuff into your body. Take the necessary vitamins that you need. My favorite in this one, in the daily greens, is the peach hibiscus. And I've seen a couple of comments from you guys saying that you're going to go and try it. But if you go and try those ones, let me know how you like the peach hibiscus because I'm telling you, it does not even taste like a super greens drink. Usually you get that bad taste, and this one you absolutely don't. It was developed by registered nutritionists and dietitians. So 42 vitamins and minerals and superfoods, only 25 calories, 4 grams of fiber, and only 1 gram of sugar. So that's the thing. We got the holiday season coming up. You're going to be eating all the cheese trays, all the candies. I'm going to have like 5 meals per day during Christmas time. So make sure you go and get those super greens drinks as well because they seriously are game changers. They make you feel good. And like I said, you don't get hungry 20 minutes later. It is really, really two good drinks that I absolutely love. So I know all of you listening are just really busy. Again, holidays coming up. You're going on the waiver wire. We've got 5 weeks until the fantasy playoff push. So you need to lock in, and Huel makes eating healthy simple. They also just launched into Target stores nationwide. So try both products today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with my exclusive code FANTASYLIFE at www.huel.com/fantasylife. And that's Huel, Huel. Use my code, fill out the post-checkout survey, help support the show, and tell us how you like it. I'm telling you, Adam, you got to go check that out. Huel.
Hey, it's chocolate and peanut butter. I'm in.
You got to go.
You don't. Yeah, I'm sold.
You got to
I
go
heard
do it.
the
I'm
health too. I'm in.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Send me
you
one.
You don't eat. Just kidding. I know you eat vegetables, but
I
that's
do.
just a fun way.
I actually love vegetables.
I love vegetables too. What's your favorite? I love broccoli.
Me too. Oh,
there we go.
damn.
Oh, best friends. Yeah. Look at us.
That is definitely my favorite.
It's so good. It's just so good. Okay, anyway, week 10 questions, biggest week 10 questions that we can look at going into this weekend and our expectations for it as well. I know we talked about this at the top of the show, but can a wide receiver emerge in Jacksonville, in your opinion? Like, is it going to be Parker Washington this week? And actually, let me just back up. If we get the news that Brian Thomas Jr. is good to go, how much are you downgrading Parker Washington or Jacoby Myers? Like, in your eyes, are they unstartable at that point?
No, I think Parker Washington still is because, again, it looks like he's going to play the slot, which is the better matchup here. Look, with Brian Thomas, are we ever going to have confidence in him this year?
Nope, but I have to start him anyway, so...
Yeah, it's been a nightmare season if you have Brian Thomas in. I don't have him in as many leagues as I thought. I probably have him a lot of best ball. I was high on him, so it's not like I wasn't. But it seems like when I'm setting redraft lineups, it's not as much as I thought. And it just sucks because he doesn't look like the same player as last year. He was explosive. I think injuries have been a factor. Drops have been a factor. Probably confidence with Trevor Lawrence has been a factor. They just seem like they can't get on the same page. And when they do, then it's another bad game. So, yeah, it's been a disappointment. Just one receiving touchdown, one rushing touchdown this year. So you have to hope that it can turn around, but there's no signs that it's going to get any better. So even if he does play, I think Parker Washington I would still use.
Yeah, I might have to stream him in one, and I'm not feeling as bad as before about it. Like, you're just gonna have to go ahead and do it. But for Jacksonville, I'll say this: Parker Washington in our rankings consensus is the is the highest this week. So Parker Washington is my wide receiver 36. Jacoby Myers is pretty close behind him though at 42. Again, that will change. That's with me. I've had Brian Thomas Jr. out of my rankings this week until I see better news about him. Then I'll put him back into the rankings, and he'll be ahead of Parker Washington. But yeah, if you have to go through them, at least maybe you can see a little bit better from Parker Washington with this team and Jacoby Myers. We'll see what he's able to do. Saw a question about Seattle and their backfield, their running backs, and our expectations for them. The question was, is there going to be a change, Adam, going forward? Are we going to see a little bit of a difference in either Kenneth Walker's workload or Zach Charbonnet's workload? And we've talked about this a lot this season. But Zach Charbonnet saw 68.4% of the goal line carries, and that's compared to 23.8% to Walker before last week. And so this is one thing where I'm saying maybe, and you've talked about this, maybe we do see an evolution in this backfield of them saying, hey, we need a little bit more Kenneth Walker because Kenneth Walker looks better. But they rank second to last in EPA per rush this season, and they haven't targeted their running backs as much as I thought they would. So do you think not only this week, but moving forward, that maybe we see that evolve a little bit, or do you think we're just stuck with what we have?
My guess is we do. We did see last week they had 3 red zone rushing attempts. All of them were Kenneth Walker. So that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Although it seems like all the touchdowns are coming in the passing game because of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, well, it's his world. We're
and
just
then even Torrey Orton with 2. So, yeah, look, I get it. It's been a nightmare if you have Kenneth Walker, especially since you drafted him 3rd, 4th round, and you feel many weeks you can't start him. I think you just have to hope that the team sees this. Mm-hmm. You did see Walker play 57% of the snaps, Charbonnet 35. And again, the 3 red zone carries, that's really important. So if that does go the way of Walker, then you will see him finish the season strong. Because we all know, you can point out all the stats, and you watch the games, you see Kenneth Walker is the more explosive back.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. And that's what makes it more frustrating is it's not Zach Charbonnet walking away with it, like running away with it or anything like that.
Because you could understand that, right? If Charbonnet was so efficient, we'd say, okay,
absolutely.
We get it.
But hey, a season high 54% of the offensive snaps in week 9. He had the 11 carries, 2 targets. And that was favorable in comparison to Zach Charbonnet. So I'd love to see the promotion, right? That's what we all want to see for fantasy football. Unless you're a Zach Charbonnet manager, then you don't want to see it. But it's just, to me, the crazier part with the Seahawks this season, Adam, has been that their weakness on offense has been their running game. If they get that going and really shore that up, then they are going to be really, really scary. They're already kind of a scary team already. But if you're able to kind of just get this going with Kenneth Walker and then Zach Charbonnet as the RB2 in this offense, wow, they could really go on a run. And they're already doing that. And that's without the best running back situation.
Yeah, because we all thought Clint Kubiak, oh yeah, this run game, we want a part of it.
Exactly.
And with them splitting, it hasn't been ideal. And it feels like they're just getting most of their touchdowns through the air now with Sam Darnold.
I don't have enough Jackson Smith and Jigba, so it's.
I have 0, so I have.
No.
I'm way short. Yeah, I had him a lot last year.
I know, I remember that. Yeah.
I'm afraid to go look back at drafts and see who
he was one taken.
Who was taken over him?
For you? Yeah, don't do that.
Probably that's that early 3rd round.
Like torture. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, okay, I won't do it.
Don't do it. It's going to be awful. The last question I have here is on Garrett Wilson. And Garrett Wilson did return to practice yesterday. We'll have to see if he continues to go through the process, if he's going to be good to go for week 10. I'm leaning on the side of yes, but we haven't seen him play since week 6. So this is the double-ended question of, is it going to be Justin Fields out there? And when Garrett Wilson returns, it feels like to me, Adam, I was looking through some of my teams that I have him on. It's not many, but the ones I do, I just don't have any other options. You were probably streaming. You were going to flex plays. I was going to Alec Pearson one. And so Wilson leads the NFL. Let me just say this in a first read target share, 48.3%. And he's going up against, they're playing Cleveland this weekend. So it's really, what our expectations are when he returns. And if it's Justin Fields, where we put him in rankings.
Yeah, I think you're playing Garrett Wilson if you have him. Again, this is 4 teams on bye, but you have the Cowboys, Bengals, and Chiefs. I mean, this is a heavy hitter week. As I mentioned, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, with the Bengals and
Mhm.
Cowboys not on the schedule, unless a line has moved. There was no line that was at 50. There was a couple at 49.5, but those two defenses are ones we pick on, and we start players knowing that we're going to get high scoring games. We don't have that this week. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm playing Garrett Wilson. I'm assuming Fields is going to start. I know Aaron Glenn's all secretive and,
I know.
trying to not tip off the opponent.
It's a
But
competitive advantage, Adam. Come on.
so I'm trying to remember, did Garrett Wilson, did he play the entire game against Denver? I think, yeah, he did,
Yeah,
right? In
he
London. He
did.
got hurt
Yeah.
late in that game, was it? Yeah, it was late. It might have been like
Yeah.
the last drive or something. So outside of that game, Garrett Wilson's been productive every week. I mean, his
Yes.
worst
Yeah.
game was 9 in a PPR if you take away that game. So he's going to be peppered with targets. And anytime you have someone getting that volume, you're going to play him. I mean, he's had at least 8 targets in every single game this year.
Exactly. He's their only option besides
And
AB Mitchell now.
he scored 4 times. 4 in
Mhm.
6 games is not bad. So I think you want Fields as the quarterback, right?
I think so too. And I
Yeah.
think he gets it. I think Fields goes out there. It's just I see a lot of questions on Fields for us this week about starting him. The only thing I'm nervous about is if he looks bad, and this is a tougher Browns team if they pull him mid game, because we've seen that before.
Yeah, so I am starting him in a super flex league. Obviously, I don't have better choices in leagues
Mhm.
though that I do have him in one quarterback leagues. I'm leaning towards not playing him. The crazy part is though is that when he's made 5 starts and when he's played the full game because we know he left the Buffalo game, that was a concussion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So the 5 games, 4 of them he's been a QB1.
Wow. Yeah.
But you do
Yeah.
run the risk of him
Concussion.
getting pulled.
You do. That's the only thing that I'm a little bit worried about. But sometimes you have to take the risk. I don't have to start him this week, but I know others probably don't have better options. So you have to go that way. We're going to continue on more rankings, risers, and fallers. I also want to go through some defensive streamers and your questions as well. We're going to break that down here coming up next. As always, appreciate everyone hanging out with us here on this Thursday. The week's going by fast, Adam. I cannot. Once we get past Tuesdays, because the Monday, Tuesday shows go by so quickly, because we're, best friends having so much fun. But I just can't. Week 10, seriously, we're 5 weeks away from the fantasy playoffs. You're getting ready and making sure that all your players are good to go. But it's just, yeah. And the bye week this week, we were talking about that in a break, but this feels worse than the 6-team bye week that we had a couple weeks ago, because you have Cincinnati, who you have really good fantasy players from, Dallas Cowboys as well. I mean, Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams, the Chiefs, now that you have Rashee Rice back, Patrick Mahomes, and the Titans are just kind of there. But sometimes
Yeah,
you need the
so
Titans.
I
And it's
think you
brutal.
you mentioned how it is worse than that 16 bye week, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling that too because when I look at some of my leagues, I have like 3 to 4 players on bye this week, sometimes 3 wide receivers. And most of my leagues are starting 3 receivers and either 1 flex or 2 flexes. So I'm like, "Oh my goodness, man, what am I putting in this week?" The other thing I'll say, I don't recall the standings being this tight this late
No.
in the season.
Same.
And across many of my leagues, my best team is 7-2. Every other league, though, like I feel there's a bunch of 6-3, 5-4, 4-5 teams. Like I've never seen it like this. I'm not in any league where someone is running away with it and dominating. Have you
Yeah,
noticed that
no.
too in your leagues?
I have two. I've got a couple, like a lot of mine are sitting at 5 wins, but I feel, you assess your team at this point in the season and I feel really good about them. I've only got a couple of them at 6. And funny enough, it's actually some of the high stakes leagues that I'm doing pretty well in that my team has survived a lot of those injuries. But some others, I looked through one of my, my home leagues, my college team, my college, I should say, league that we do, we've been doing for a long time. And man, that one is close. Like that could be me. I'm at the top, but I could see myself in the next 3 weeks, just all of a sudden people start to really heat up and that just changes in 3 weeks.
Yeah, our GST league, 6 teams are 5-4, 2 at six
Yeah,
and three, 2 4-5. Like it is
it's
close. I mean,
close.
think about that. You're 4-5 in the first place team, 6-3. Like you're right there. So that's the whole thing we've been preaching is just get into the playoffs. It's been a wild year. There's been a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of volatility, but it's all about just getting into the playoffs. And it feels like a lot of teams are still in it. I'm just not seeing like that disparity from
No.
the top of the standings to the bottom this year.
Well, it feels the same way though in the NFL, does it not? I mean, it's kind of
Yeah, it's wide
coincides
open.
with. I mean,
It's
it
wide open.
obviously doesn't. It's not a one for one, but the NFL when we ask, okay, who's the most dominant team in the NFL right now? There could be
No one.
multiple answers.
We
There's
would
not
have
one that could run away with it.
we were saying Kansas City, like, oh, that's it. But that loss to Buffalo puts them at 5-4. They're 2 games behind Denver. Now they do play Denver twice. They're a game behind the Chargers, play them once. But yeah, there's no dominant team right now.
No, yeah, I mean the Colts lost that one. I don't know. It's just yeah, there's no real dominant team there. So the Patriots from producer Tim.
They're
I mean,
not.
the Patriots look
They're
good,
very
they're not
good, but I
dominant.
wouldn't call them a dominant team.
Where were the Lord of the Rings movies filmed? That's your trivia. I love Lord of the Rings, by the way. Where were they filmed?
I have not
Come on.
watched it.
What? Not one?
Nope.
Oh, you should. They're really good.
It's
No?
not my
Anything?
style. I don't know.
But you'll watch Batman? No, it's totally different. It's New Zealand. I'm just letting you know it's New Zealand. I've got questions from everyone coming in on Twitter. We're going to take your phone calls as well. Time for that Fantasy Life water cooler here. Coming up next. It is about that time for the Fantasy Life water cooler. This is where we go through all the pieces of news across the NFL. We go through all the notes that you need to know to set your lineups and dominate in week 10. Kendall, Valenzuela, Adam Ronis with you right here. Fantasy Life on Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio. This is also the time where we get your questions answered. 888-963-2682 is the phone number to call in, or you can press that new call-in button on the Sirius XM app. You can also find us over there on X at KValenzuela17 at Adam Ronis. So if you can't call in today, we understand you get busy, you're at work. I guess people are working at them. So you can send us a message over there at KValenzuela17 at Adam Ronis on X, and we will answer as many as we can get to. And just to give you guys a reminder, fantasylife.com. Fantasylife.com is where you can go and subscribe to our newsletter in your inbox 7 days a week, 100% free. And it is also where you can find all of our tools. So whenever I reference, the takeaway, the utilization report takeaways, the Fantasy Life rankings, the Xfinity projections, that's where you can go and get all of that. You can also use that code SXM20. SXM20 gets you 20% off at checkout if you've been thinking about getting tier 1 or tier 2 subscriptions for Fantasy Life Plus. So make sure you go over there, get that done. And yeah, we're 5 weeks away, Adam, from the start of fantasy championship season. So we are ready to go for the playoffs. Again, we're going to be taking as many questions as we can here. Let me start with this first one. Again, we've hit this at the top of the hour, last hour, but just wanted to make sure that people knew Kyler Murray was placed on IR with that foot injury. Jonathan Gannon said that this was not season ending and that he will have a chance to return if his foot gets healthy. But we do get one Jacoby Brissett this weekend, which, like we've talked about before, Adam, that is an upgrade for our fantasy teams. That's an upgrade for Marvin Harrison Jr. And his dad. Maybe his dad won't have to get angry but maybe he will though. I kind of like when that happens because we see a little bit of a difference. So Marvin Harrison Jr., an upgrade, and then also Trey McBride is someone that we're upgrading as well with Jacoby Brissett. Not necessarily someone that we would recommend streaming. I think you guys are going to have a few better options out there than him, especially if Sam Darnold's out there, Adam, you should definitely go and look at him. I think J.J. McCarthy, even going up against Baltimore, that one gets a little bit closer. But Jacoby Brissett for us, QB 18 consensus for the weekend. But like I said, an upgrade for Arizona.
Yes, we have seen it in multiple games now. The offense just operates much better. It's smooth. It's much better to watch. I've been saying it the last couple of years. Kyler Murray, this offense with him has just been such a tough watch. It looks painful. And yes, the Cowboys were a big reason why it looks so good on Monday night. It is going to be a much tougher task this week. But again, with Trey McBride, we've seen the splits. He just doesn't score touchdowns with Kyler Murray. He had one with him. And what does he have, like 4 in the 3 starts now with Jacoby Brissett?
That's why it makes it not funny anymore about last season. Because last season it was like a joke. We were like, wow, they really just he can't come down with anything. And now you have Jacoby Brissett in there, and it's like, it's not as funny anymore from last season.
Well, to be fair, like he didn't score much in college either. So it's like, okay, you start to think like, okay, maybe this is, but then Brissett comes in and you're like, oh, no, he's looking for McBride. They're making a point to get it to him. And I guess it was tough for Kyler Murray to see the field, right? I mean, Tua said it.
Stop.
Tua said it like a few weeks ago. I can't see. I mean, so if he can't see, what do you think, Kyler Murray?
Was that Tua's eye injury game, though? What are you talking about?
No.
That's when he had the injury, right? Tua?
I think it was before that, actually.
Wait, he
Yeah.
actually said that? He
Yeah.
said some
Tua has said
crazy
so. Yeah,
things this
I
year.
remember a week or two ago, you're like, is this AI or did Tua said it? I'm like, if it's Tua, he might have said it. So
No, genuinely, I was like, I think I'm getting pranked because some of those videos look really real.
now
And then I was
Tua
like,
says
oh
some
no,
odd
Tua said
things.
that. That was weird. An upgrade for Arizona and the Cardinals again. Kyler Murray on IR. So if you have him, you're obviously looking for different places, different quarterbacks. He's going to miss the next 4 games minimum. Same with CJ Stroud, not on IR though. He is just going to be out for this game. Adam, he was ruled out with that concussion that he sustained last weekend going up against Jackson, or no, where was he last week? I can't even remember who the Texans played, but they're playing
Denver.
Jacksonville this weekend. Oh, Denver, that's what it was. They're playing Jacksonville this weekend, though. Davis Mills is getting the start. Really, if you have Nico Collins, that's been the only guy that you're more than comfortable starting. And this one, you'll just have to fight it out, tough it out with Davis Mills. Not necessarily awful, but he's not someone that you can stream either. He's our QB 30 on the week, so you don't really want to go that direction. Between Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb popped up on the injury report, so we're gonna have to watch out for that for today and tomorrow's practices. You starting either of them against Jacksonville?
Ideally I don't want to, but there might be a league or two where Woody Marks gets in the lineup.
Yeah,
It's
same.
just been a split, and you want to see more receptions from Woody Marks. He's
Mhm.
the more explosive back, obviously. So I just want to see him get more involved in the passing game.
I agree. I see a question here from Fantasy Dad. Again, at K Valenzuela 17, at Adam Ronis over there on X. His question is Fanning or Loveland this week, both against weak New York teams. That is true. So the Bears get the New York Giants in this one, and then Harold Fanning Jr. and the Cleveland Browns are taking on the Jets. This is close for me, Adam. I'm curious about you. I have Loveland one spot ahead. Loveland's my tight end 11, and then Harold Fanning Jr. is my tight end 12, mainly because David Njoku didn't get moved. So I think they're both still going to split.
I think that's one factor. The other factor is we're expecting way more points in the Giants Bears game. That Jets Browns game is going to be ugly. It's a low total. I know Loveland did it against the Bengals. Cole Kmet, though, could be out. I think that would be important as well.
Yeah.
Loveland was already playing more snaps than him anyway when Kmet was active in that game. And we figured at some point Loveland would emerge. You don't spend that early of a pick on a tight end to have them waste away. And that's what we
Mhm.
were seeing. He did have, an injury at the beginning of the season. That might have been a factor. So I'm going to go Loveland here.
Yeah, I've got, again, Loveland one spot ahead, so it is close, but that's a really good question. Those are 2 really good guys to have going into it as well. I mean, if Colston Loveland really starts to emerge down this stretch, you're going to be really happy with that. You didn't have to spend too much on him, but you've probably been using the second tight end that you drafted more than him to start the
He was
season.
he was also on the waiver wire over the
Yeah,
last couple weeks too, because
true.
he was likely drafted anywhere in that like 12 to 16 range, and I'm sure people dropped him after he was barely involved. And I could
Mhm.
understand that. There was a lot of tight ends that were appealing off the waiver wire for a good portion of the season. So I could have seen people dropping him in week 5, 6, 7, and then now you see him emerge and going back to pick him up and spend some money.
All right, continuing on through the water cooler. Again, the phone number to call in, 888-963-2682, or you can press the call-in button on the SiriusXM app at K Valenzuela 17, at Adam Ronis over there on X. Appreciate everyone calling in, though. Hang on, and we'll definitely get to you guys over there. So more injury news updates that I just want to make sure we go through here. I said Aaron Jones, again, yesterday did not practice. We'll have to watch. That's a shoulder toe injury. He suffered the AC joint sprain in week 9. They told us earlier in the week, Adam, of course, that the injury is believed to be minor, but we'll have to pay attention if he practices today or tomorrow. One that I definitely want to mention again is that James Cook did not practice yesterday. And so again, these are all Wednesday reports. You guys know from listening to us by now that we pay way more attention to Thursday, Fridays, but that's an ankle foot injury that you told me earlier in the show he suffered in the first quarter. So he played with that injury. He looked really good too against the Chiefs. He had 114 yards, didn't score a touchdown, 27 rushes against KC. All that to say, if he isn't out, this is why it's so, or if he is out, this is why it's so important to make sure you have these backup running backs, these handcuffs, because to me, it'd be Ray Davis. And I think he would act as the lead back if Cook did sit out this game. Ty Johnson has outsnapped him this year, but I feel like, Adam, that would change if this really were to happen with James Cook being out in week 10.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Ray Davis this year,
No.
so we saw him a lot more last year, and that's why Cook has also been so good. The snap counts have gone up, the volume has gone up, so it's a deviation from what they did last year, which is why for me I wasn't as in on Cook because I thought it might stay the same. It was never about Cook's talent, and
Mhm.
seeing Cook go off like this and getting all this volume is just like, oh, okay. I wish I kind of would have known that before. But you could say, I guess you could say we should have seen it coming because they paid him, right? I don't know. It's easy to say that in
I don't
hindsight,
know. Yeah.
but yeah, I would say Ray Davis would be the main back. Ty Johnson passing down back, and you probably see Josh Allen run a little bit more too. I was actually
Mhm.
very disappointed in Josh Allen's rushing last week. I had a prop on him. I thought he was going to run a lot
Oh,
against Kansas
what was it
City.
at?
It was 41.5. He didn't come close. He had 19.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then,
I just
yeah,
against Kansas City, he
disappointing.
has a penchant for running. They play a lot of man, so that's good for the running quarterback. So maybe you see Josh Allen run a little bit more. He didn't need to against Carolina. They blew him out. He had 3 carries, and he was just so good passing the ball and dissecting the Chiefs' defense. I guess that's why he didn't need to run as much. But we did see those 2 prior weeks. He had 42, 53, 45. So I think if Cook were to be out, you'd see him run 7, 8, 9 times.
Yeah, I agree with that. So just keep an eye on that. If you're a James Cook manager, make sure you have a backup plan just in case. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. We kind of knew this one, Adam. He did not practice yesterday. We'll see what happens today. But he's dealing with that ankle injury. And then Garrett Wilson was practicing yesterday. So that's good news. I saw Okay, last one. Quinshon Judkins did practice in full. That seems like he's on the right side of the questionable tag, Adam, where if you have Quinshon Judkins, it looks like he's moving in the right direction. He practiced in full and then is not listed on the injury report anymore. So that's good news for him. Rico Dowdle didn't practice yesterday either. So let's pay attention to that. Again, it's Wednesday. These guys could just be tired. They could just be going through it. If we need to see what happens Thursday, Friday. But Rico Dowdle is a big one for a lot of people this week after the big week 9 that we saw from him.
Yeah, I think I saw the comments from the coach were that they were just being safe here.
Yeah.
Dave Cannell said that they want to be smart. They are counting on him this weekend. He did leave that game briefly too, but did come
Yeah.
back in. So yeah, anytime
Should
on
be good to
Wednesday,
go.
you don't worry about it. So yeah, so going forward, if I were to miss a Wednesday show due to rest, you'd be okay, like a veteran's rest day. You're cool
Yeah,
with that?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
he's Adam's a vet, so if we don't hear him on Wednesdays, I just say, he's got the built-in rest days
I
because
haven't taken one yet, so
well, yeah,
I'm due.
hopefully you don't. Well, no, I don't think you're due
Okay.
necessarily, but if you need to, go cook some, broccoli. By the way, you don't cook?
No.
That someone asked us our favorite way to cook broccoli. You said I
Yeah,
don't cook.
ask Kendall.
Come on, what's going on? Mike wants to know your preferred way to cook broccoli. I do love baking broccoli, cutting
Yeah.
them up into little. Have you done that?
No, I haven't
Well, I
done
know you
anything.
haven't done it. Well, of course not. You cut them up into little broccoli florets, or you can put them in the air fryer. Oh, that's good too. Then they
Okay,
get
good to know.
crispy. Like crispy
I'm writing it
broccoli?
down.
Yum. Gosh, I'm hungry now. All right. We're going out to the phone lines. I hate when we do this. We're going out to the phone lines now. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us here. Let's go out to Mike in Texas. Mike, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, how's what's going on? Love your show, love your program. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, quick question. Yeah, I got to clear up my bench. I'm on the chopping block between Terry McLaurin or Hawkinson. Because Garrett Wilson's coming back, so he's on my IR, so I got to clear up my bench. Any thoughts on that?
Who's your
Dropping
other tight end?
McLaurin? Yeah.
Oh, I have Dallas Goddard and Mark Andrews are my
Oh,
tight end.
Yeah, you can
then
cut
I would drop
Hawkinson then. I
Hawk.
think it's
Yeah.
pretty easy. I am still concerned if we see McLaurin and how healthy he's going to be, but I think you just need to keep him. If you have 2 other tight ends, then yeah, they both, Andrews and Goddard, also had their bye already. So yeah,
Mhm.
you can cut Hawkinson.
And Goddard's just going to continue scoring touchdowns at
Is
him.
he though? Are you sure about that? I
Well,
hope
you
so.
you told me that 3 weeks ago, and I said, "Yeah, I think he's gonna score this weekend," and look at what happened. It's just it's not stopping. Am I happy about it? No. As a AJ Brown, Devontae Smith manager, It
I
just
have him in one league, and unfortunately, I desperately need him. He has 7 touchdowns on
Yep.
30 receptions.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't
It's
need to be good
crazy.
at math to figure out that is not going to continue. Or maybe he has an outlier season where he has
Yeah, we
50
said
catches and
exactly.
41 touchdowns. Maybe it's
Exactly.
possible.
We said the same thing about James Cook. We said there's no way he can keep doing that, and now he's laughing at
But at
us.
least with James Cook, he's a running back that gets heavy. Look, okay. I said this number throughout the offseason. James Cook, because you would have gotten everyone on this last year. How many carries did James Cook have last year? Everyone would have said 250. He had 207. Do you realize how many he has now through 9 games?
How many?
153.
Wow, well that puts him on pace for.
He's going to obliterate what he did last year. If I would have known that, I would have easily taken James Cook in round 2
Come on,
or
James
3.
Cook, give us a call. Text us back. I mean, what's going on? It's nuts. Appreciate you calling in, Mike, and for the kind words. We appreciate that. All right, let's go to Jim in West Virginia. Jim, what do you got for us?
Well, I need 3 of 4 receivers here, but one I guess I can pretty much answer myself. I have Justin Jefferson, but with the other 3, I have Roma Odunze, Ladd McConkey, and tonight with Cortland Sutton. So that's why I'm trying to get a jump on the other 2.
Oh, I like that. Those are good problems to have. So, Cortland Sutton, Justin Jefferson, Odunze, Ladd McConkey. Is it crazy to say that it would be Cortland Sutton in this one?
Oh,
That's how my rankings are looking.
Really?
Yeah,
Let me see.
I have. I have Ladd
McConkey's
McConkey
in.
at wide receiver 9. I've got Roma Odunze at wide receiver 10 this week, and I have. This is how close it is. I have Cortland Sutton right on the outside of my top 12, wide receiver 13.
Oh, this is a tough one because
really
Odunze
good.
has the Giants. It's easy to say bench him after what we saw last week, but it's the Giants
good
and his
matchup.
dad's talk. This is a tough one because I like Sutton tonight too. I think Sutton bounces back. It's a great matchup.
You know, sub out Rome for Cortland Sutton?
Yes.
Okay. It's a really good matchup. That's the only thing I'm looking at here with the Bears.
Yeah, I know against the Giants. I do expect this is a tough one. This is when you have
really
riches and you have to make a tough call.
Yeah, I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
I don't know. It's hard now as I look at this to sit Odunze though, because I do think this is a bounce back spot.
I'm sticking with mine.
It's a Thursday night too. And what if Denver does jump out to a big lead?
Cortland Sutton has been a bit hit or miss this season. I will say that. And now that I say it, he's going to have a huge week this week.
So was Odunze though.
Yeah, no,
especially
that's what I'm
lately.
saying. They compare, like when you compare them, Rome Odunze is definitely cooled off. And we know that Sutton can make the most of his opportunities when he is given them and we've seen that before. So it's really the trust of Bo Nix and the quarterbacks and just the overall environment that they're in. I'm going to stick with Rome Odunze. Do I love it? No, but that's just where I'm going to go. It's close.
It is. I'll go Sutton, but I'm like going back and forth. So if he has a lean one way, then
if you have a lean, Jim, just go. Yeah, but we do like
they're all
overall.
We
like Justin Jefferson and Ladd McConkey in this.
I think Sutton and Odunze got to be top 15.
That's what I said. Right? They're separated by two for me. I mean, that's just how close it is. The Raiders, and here's the thing: the Raiders have allowed the 3rd most receptions per game to wide receivers this year, and the 4th most fantasy points.
Yeah, I'm on a Sutton prop tonight over his receiving yards, so right, I do like him.
Let us know. Now I'm going to really be paying attention, but I'm not going to be paying attention to the game. I'm going to be saying, how's Jim's fantasy team doing? And I'm going to compare these guys afterwards. Let's finish it off here. Let's go out to Mike in Pennsylvania. Mike, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, love the show. I need a quarterback this weekend, and we got real slim pickings. I got McCarthy, Mills, Penix, Brissett, or Bryce Young. But I do get a point per completion.
Oh, that
point. So that brings
JJ
McCarthy
down, a little bit because I was going to say him.
If they're going to let him only have 25 attempts, right? Like that's what we had last week, 14 to 25 in that game.
But won't they need to throw more to keep up with Baltimore? I'm assuming Baltimore is putting up points.
So JJ McCarthy, Justin Fields, Young, that makes Brissett a little bit more interesting to me.
as they play
against
from
Seattle
behind.
as they play from behind.
I'm still going to go McCarthy because he runs too.
Oh, that's true. 1 point per completion though. Let me see Jacoby Brissett's splits. Go ahead.
Penix could be interesting too in that because they'll be playing from behind, and in losses they throw a lot.
Are they at home this weekend?
So here are the losses for the Falcons this year: 42 pass attempts, 27 completions, 36 pass attempts.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Carolina game; they were terrible. 38 pass attempts against San Fran, 37 against New England, and they were 5.5, 6 point underdogs. So Penix could get you 20 plus, but I don't want to rely on him.
I like that we talk ourselves out of every person. To me, it's between J.J. McCarthy and Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett in that game last week where they were way ahead of Dallas. He was 21 of 31, but in those games before, I've seen 36 attempts against Green Bay, 44 against Indy. And I believe in both those games they were trailing.
Yes, and you will not run on Seattle. So to me,
I just get nervous about Seattle's defense. That's the only thing. They're really looking good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You expect him. I'm going to go McCarthy because he can run too. He might be able to run in a touchdown. So you are correct. Like as far as pass attempts, it's really tough to rely on McCarthy because they've been unwilling to allow him to throw much. Now it worked out that they were playing with the lead last game. I think Baltimore is putting up points in this game, don't you think, with Lamar Jackson back?
Sure.
And it's a 49.5 point total. Baltimore's favored by 4.5. So they might not be able to ask McCarthy to limit the pass attempts.
This is a high total too, right? Is it 50.5 still? The last time
I see. Is it up to 50? I see 49.5. Maybe on one book
then
it is.
I think it went down.
No, but it's not one of the highest totals of the week, though.
All right, McCarthy in this one. And here's the other thing. I think that this is a perfect time for Minnesota to get Baltimore because I think by the time we get to week 15, Adam, and I've been saying this, I think that Baltimore Ravens defense is going to be way better than what we've been talking about the first half of the season. So
we see that. So last year we saw it too.
Exactly.
The same
you
thing.
kind of have to be careful because I've seen people saying, "Oh, I get to face this Baltimore defense week 16 with X player," and I think you just have to be careful because this might be one team that's on the up and up. That eventually, once we get to week 15, 16, 17 in the playoffs, we're not looking at them as a layup anymore, and that's just I feel like Baltimore's about to go on a big run. So this is still a good time. Minnesota's at home to face Baltimore, but yeah, I think the Ravens win this one, and the Vikings are going to have to be playing from behind. And like you said, J.J. McCarthy runs, Jacoby Brissett does not. Or he not as much, I should say.
Yeah, 9 rushing attempts for McCarthy last week. It only resulted in 12 yards, but he did get the rushing touchdown too.
Oh, that's a fun league. I appreciate you calling in, Mike. Mike and Jim, appreciate you guys doing that. We're going to continue on. Let's talk about these matchups then, because there are some interesting ones. Daniel Jones does not have a favorable one going up against the Atlanta Falcons. So what are our expectations for him going forward? Jalen Warren has a good one, though. I want to talk about him and more here. Wan'Dale Robinson? Yes, coming up next. This is Fantasy Life right here. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us on this Thursday morning, afternoon. Depends on where you're at. Kendall, Valenzuela, Adam Ronis with you. Getting you ready for all things Thursday Night Football. Getting you ready for all things Week 10 across the NFL. See so many questions coming in today. You guys are the absolute best. We'll try to get to as many as we can. I see one here for tonight. And if you got some for tonight, I'll try and make sure to flag them. But see this one from Fan. Should I start Troy Franklin tonight or trust A.J. Brown will play on Monday Night Football? This is non-PPR in this one. I would say I think A.J. Brown's going to play.
I would think so, too. Coming off the bye, they probably were extra cautious.
I would go A.J. Brown.
I think you have to. Yeah. And worst case scenario, if something goes wrong, hopefully you're able to pick someone else up. I know it's a tough bye week and maybe they have a couple of players on the bench that are on bye, but yeah, I would hold off. And this is the one negative aspect of the Thursday night games where you have to make these decisions on players that we don't have the injury report about. But there's been no indication that Brown is going to be out. I'm actually more worried about Barkley than A.J. Brown, to be honest.
Same here. I will say, too, Fan has to make this decision right now, though, because the Eagles play Monday night. So if you're rolling with AJ Brown, I don't think you should be worried about that because I haven't seen any negative news that would impact him for week 10. But the Eagles are taking on the Packers. The other part of it is though, Adam, that the Packers use a lot of different receivers. So for whatever reason AJ Brown were to be out, you could hopefully pick up, someone else on the Packers.
Well,
But I think
I'm
AJ Brown's gonna play.
The other factor I'm saying is we should get news on Brown, like say
Yeah.
Saturday night or Sunday. So say it's negative on Brown, you could always pick up someone in the Sunday games.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So I would still go AJ Brown. I feel like he's going to be playing this weekend. I hope he is because I can't keep doing this, Adam. My teams can't take it anymore.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
know.
bad.
I think I have Brown in 1 or 2 leagues. Oh, we have them together in the charity league.
Yeah,
So
we
yeah, we
do.
need them.
It's been brutal. I see another question here from Ted saying, I love when they say this because I say the same thing. This is gross, but I'm desperate this week. Christian Kirk going up against Jacksonville or Trey Tucker tonight versus Denver. Thanks for all your
Tucker.
help. Yeah, Tucker.
Yeah,
Christian Kirk, you can't. He's always hurt. He doesn't have an impact. There's no way. And I'm honestly curious to see what Tucker looks like now that Jacoby Myers is out of the picture. We mentioned him and I've written him up on the waiver wire. He was very, very rostered. I think he was at 42% and that was before the trade. If he's still floating around out there for whatever reason, you should definitely go and pick him up. But I'm curious to see, what this offense looks like. We know it's going to go to Brock Bowers 95% of the time. But just looking at the depth chart and everything else, he definitely gets a move up with Jacoby Myers not in the picture anymore. So I would go Tucker as well.
Yeah, look, it's not an easy matchup. Patrick Surtain is out. That helps. So we're not saying he's going to have a massive game. But
No.
again, I mean, Christian Kirk is what, 4 for 40 at best?
He's awful. He's not good.
And you
He's
do have to worry
hurt
about
all the
him
time.
staying healthy. And it's Davis
Exactly.
Mills in a very low-scoring game. At least you expect Vegas to play from behind and pass. And, if Tucker gets a long play, that can make the difference for you.
All right, let's go through some matchup highlights and lowlights here. I wanted to say a low would be for Breece Hall this weekend in this matchup going up against Cleveland. To me, sometimes you just have to look at him as an automatic start, just because of who he is, just because of the potential that he brings you. What he had a huge week 8 as well, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah, he definitely did.
Mhm.
So you can't forget about that performance. I know that it was against the Bengals, but still, it was really nice to see. Cleveland, though, had allowed 177 rushing yards to New England. That was week 8 as well. But even with that performance, the Browns rank 4th in fantasy points per game on planned rush plays since week 6. So it's a tough matchup. But to me, Adam, if you have him, I've seen a couple questions about him. Depending on who else you have, you might just have to go with it and roll with it.
Yeah, their run defense hasn't been as good the last 2 games. I mean, overall, you look for the season, they're not giving up many points. And also with Breece, he can get it done in the passing game. So even if he doesn't do much, one concern you have about Breece is where is his mindset right now? And
he's pissed.
Yes. And he said, I wanted to stay here. It was a joke. Okay, Breece, we believe you.
I don't.
And then you have to worry about if he is banged up during a game, does he just sit out? So there are concerns, but yeah, I would play him. I mean, I think he's an RB2 this week. He can get it done in the passing game. He's playing for a contract though too, so maybe he can't
not
do
with
that.
He doesn't want it for the.
No, but I'm saying he still has to go out there and finish strong because he's playing for a
does.
contract.
Yeah, no, he does. I see a question here when we're looking at it. So, oh man, where'd it go? I always do this. Oh, I lost it. Hang on. It was about Breece Hall and RJ Harvey. And if RJ Harvey just tonight, and I think we can turn this more into a question about just RJ Harvey overall and what we've seen from him over the past couple of games and our expectations for him, because he's gotten more fantasy points, but the one thing we have to be careful of is that his role hasn't changed. That's the thing that you have to look at when you look at the utilization report. You can say, wow, look at these fantasy points that he's scoring. He got 16.6 last week, 24.1 the week prior, but he's had the same utilization, Adam, and that's really important to look at. It's not like his role has grown.
Well, and that's the problem. That's why the utilization report is so important, because what people do is they go, oh, wow, he scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. Do you really expect it to continue when you're playing 25, 27, and 32% of the snaps? Now, you could say, well, they're seeing this and they got to get him involved more. J.K. Dobbins has been really good. You're just not going to cut J.K. Dobbins' role. As much as we want to see Harvey and we see the explosiveness and what he can bring to the passing game, even with those games, like he had 2 yards against the Giants, 2 total yards. He had 5 touches for 2 yards, scored a touchdown. Cool. Against Dallas, who, again, I can pick up 40 yards rushing. I'm not joking. I think I can. He had 8 touches in that game for 51 yards and 3 touchdowns, okay? 8 touches, 3 went for a touchdown. And then last week, 7 touches for 56 yards and a touchdown. So you are banking on him scoring on 6 to 8 touches. Can he do it? Of course, it's certainly possible compared to a running back that is getting 15, 20 touches. And Harvey might outscore him this week. But if you know those factors going into a game, how can you roll with RJ Harvey?
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got RJ Harvey as my RB24, and that's generous. Like I'm the highest on him out of all of our rankers this week. We've got most at 29, a couple at 26 as well, but 24 for me, and I still have Breece Hall way ahead. It's not necessarily close. I've got Breece Hall RB15 for the week, so still gonna roll with Breece Hall, but I understand the questions on RJ Harvey just because of what we've seen. Yeah,
I'm saying maybe it becomes a blowout. And then what happens against Dallas where he gets 8 touches and, breaks off a 40-yard run? That's possible,
Fair.
but do you want to bank on that?
Exactly.
Yeah, when you know Breece Hall is getting at least 15 touches and and maybe a lot more in the passing game this week too.
I see one from Micah here. With the news coming out about Stroud, do I start Troy Franklin tonight over Nico Collins? No.
No, I'm not doing that.
You still it's a downgrade, but he's still going to get peppered with targets. Nico Collins.
I'm trying to remember because I had a Nico Collins prop last week. Most of the yards I think came with Davis Mills.
Yeah, I think CJ Stroud went down kind of pretty early, like before the witching hour, I want to say.
Okay. I can't remember what quarter it was.
I'll look it up. Look at me.
But either way, I mean, Mills he's been around. He knows to get the ball to Nico Collins.
When was he ruled out? So second quarter. Second quarter.
So, okay. Yeah. I think Nico was actually kind of close to his prop, I think, at that time. Or he was on pace. I think he had one big catch early. But either way, I'm not worried.
I'm going Nico.
Yeah, I'm playing Nico too.
Nico for sure. All right, I've got more than I want to go through. Matchups that you can't necessarily avoid, but you have to maybe bring down your expectations. Want to talk about Daniel Jones in this game going up against the Atlanta Falcons. And of course, the trust meter, Adam. Scale of 1 to 10. How much can we trust these guys? We're looking at Caleb Williams, Jalen Warren, and more here coming up next. This is Fantasy Life right here, getting you ready for Thursday Night Football, getting you ready for Week 10 of the NFL season. Can't believe that's happening already. That's just absolutely nuts. We're going through Trust Meter, Adam. How much do you trust these guys in your starting lineup? Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being I trust them completely. Just like I trusted you to know how you like your broccoli cooked, and you don't, so it's fine.
I just eat it. That's it. I don't cook.
The air fryer is such a game changer. I only have a small one, so I can't cook a lot in it, but it's like really good. Chicken in the air fryer, yum.
Okay.
Tater tots, yum. Let me tell you. All right, what do we talk? Trust meter. Let's go trust meter. So let me bring this guy up again because I've seen now a ton of questions, and I want to get to some of these because I think a lot of people are going back and forth on starting RJ Harvey tonight for the Denver Broncos. We're going to be breaking that game down here in a second. He has 40.7 fantasy points over the past 2 weeks combined, but he's only played 30% of the offensive snaps, averaging 7.5 touches in them as well. Trust meter for RJ Harvey if you are starting him tonight. What are you looking at? 1 to 10. 3?
Yeah, 3. I mean, again, okay, he had his highest snap rate last week since week 4, 31.1%. And he is running routes and they are getting on the ball. But again, the volume is not there. Like how people are just looking at these touchdowns thinking that they're going to occur every week, and that's just not going to happen. So he has been more involved in the passing game, which you like to see. But no, I don't think you can trust him. If I just tell you the touches that a running back gets on the 3 weeks that he has gotten, you'll be like, oh yeah, I can't play that guy. but because he has these touchdowns, that's why people are getting excited. But the usage is not increased at all. So it's very risky. Could he go out there and score another touchdown tonight?
Absolutely.
He could score a 46-yard reception on the first drive. And then people are like, oh, I told you so. But it's not about that. You have to look at what the way the team is utilizing him. And Dobbins has been the guy there.
I see a question here from Chris saying, need to start one in PPR flex. RJ Harvey, Woody Marks, or Parker Washington? Full point PPR. Where do I have Woody Marks this week?
Yeah,
It's not close.
I think I would not play Harvey tonight, and then you need to wait and see what the status is of Nick Chubb.
Yeah, because right now I have Woody Marks as I found him, RB 30. So it would be between him and Parker Washington, because we also want to wait and see what Brian Thomas Jr. looks like. Not that, I think if he even is still out there, that I think I'm in a position, Adam, where I have to start Parker Washington no matter what this week, but it makes it a lot easier. There's a clearer path to targets if you don't have Brian Thomas out there. So we'll have to wait on that one as well.
I think what's happening is people have not played RJ Harvey probably the last couple weeks, and then they get mad because they left these points on the bench. And you just can't. You have to understand that those were like kind of fluky outcomes. It's one thing if he was getting 12 to 15 touches, we'd say yes, a change has been made, time to get him in. But I think 16.1 last week, 23.6. So people see those two and they just think, okay, I can get him in my lineup, but there's not been an uptick in touches. Again, if I tell you do you want to play a running back that has had 5, 8, and 7 touches the last 3 games, you're going to say, no, I don't want to play that guy. Now, if I tell you he had 5 touchdowns, you're going to be like, I want that.
That makes a difference.
But also, can you expect that to continue?
Exactly.
No. I think everyone wants to see Harvey's role grow because we see the explosiveness. And we knew that when they drafted him. We thought, okay, in this Sean Payton offense, he could be a guy. You want the guy in that offense that catches the passes. So we still haven't seen a huge uptick. Again, the 5 targets last week, yes, but before that, 1 and 2. So we have not seen it yet. And maybe, I don't know, I don't see it changing. Do you? Because J.K. Dobbins has been so good. It's one thing if Dobbins wasn't good. And you could say Harvey's more explosive. Because we have seen Dobbins' numbers take a dip, more so because he's not involved in the pass game. And he hasn't scored a touchdown in 4 straight games. But 15 for 61, 15 for 111, 14 for 81. It's not like he's been bad.
No, I think I'm biased because I would like to see it change a little bit because I do have good amounts of shares of RJ Harvey, but I've been like most people listening where I just have not been in the place that I've started him over the last couple of weeks. I also have FOMO, but I don't think so because J.K. Dobbins, one, isn't hurt. That's the one thing when I was drafting R.J. Harvey was I was saying, well, J.K. Dobbins might eventually get hurt because we've seen that before in his career. And from what we all know, he's not hurt, but it has been, 4 fantasy points in week 6. Then he went to 9, 14 against Dallas, and then 6.9 against Houston. So I don't think it's changing yet, but I mean, I'm still leaving the door open that if Sean Payton does see this change in this difference, because RJ Harvey is the pass catching running back. That's why we drafted him. We said, okay, he can really catch passes out of this backfield and that'll take him to a new level in fantasy. So I'm not ruling it out. They've got a week 12 bye. So they've got a later bye this year. So how great would it be if we could talk about RJ Harvey in a better way, getting more work, having a better utilization score going into the fantasy playoffs? That'd be amazing.
It's possible, and he could be that guy come the fantasy playoffs that you're putting in your lineup. The one thing, as I said, with Dobbins, we have not seen him involved in the passing game. No. He has 1 target in 5 of his last 6 games, and he hasn't scored in 4 weeks. So the yards have been there. But the lack of touchdowns is hurting him right now, and the lack of involvement in the passing game as well.
Here's one from Mark. Do I start J.K. Dobbins or Woody Marks? Again, these are tough because Denver plays tonight.
Yeah, I'm starting.
So I would
Dobbins.
say, J.K. Dobbins. Even though we might get news that Nick Chubb isn't good to go, we're still going to wait on that for tonight and tomorrow, or today's practice report, I should say, and tomorrow. But just because this game is being played tonight, I would just keep it safe and go with J.K. Dobbins, because then if you start Woody Marks and you still have Nick Chubb there, it definitely hurts his value. Trust meter 1 to 10. Jacory Krosky Merritt. What do you add? They're playing Detroit this weekend.
2.
Oof. It's been bad.
It
It's
really
been
has.
so bad. But it's not for the lack of work either. That's the part with them.
There's no more explosive runs. And
Yeah.
the problem is when I was surprised at how many carries he got late in that game because they were down big. And then we saw
Wow.
Chris Rodriguez come in too and get the touchdown. So yeah, the game scripts have not been kind for Krosky Merritt at all.
He has only scored 17.6 fantasy points since week 6 total.
Oh, I know.
It's
I have
bad.
him in a couple leagues. It has not been good.
Well, you probably drafted. Are those the leagues that you drafted him a little bit later?
Oh yeah, I
before
was
hype came
once
on?
once
Yeah.
he started going rounds 5, 6, 7. I was like, okay, I am out.
Like, I'm
Like,
out. I can't
yeah,
do this. No,
these
I
were
agree.
like double-digit rounds.
All right, I've got a couple more names that I want to go through because I do want to talk about Wan'Dale Robinson and a matchup that we actually have to highlight for him going up against the Bears. And we're going to continue breaking down this Thursday night football game that we have tonight. We're going to do all of that coming up next. This is Fantasy Life right here, getting you ready for Thursday night football. Hopefully a good game. Adam's going to be playing softball, so he'll check in a little bit later. So everyone wish Adam a good, what's this, game 2?
Game 2 of a
Two.
best of
They
3.
mercy ruled the poor team yesterday. That's so sad. What was the final score?
20-0.
It's horrible.
It's not going to
awful.
be that way tonight.
Are you
The
sure?
closeout game is always the toughest, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I will be following the game on my phone between innings and
It'll be great.
listening to the game in the car on the way home, and then hopefully catching I don't know, probably the fourth quarter because the game's at 8:30 tonight. Late
That's a
start.
late game.
I
I
know.
think it's cold at some point.
Oh,
right?
it is going to be cold and windy.
Ooh, don't like it. Don't like that. Hey, I see. Let me answer this question here because I see people going back and forth from Eddie on X at K Valenzuela 17. Who is Jonathan Taylor's handcuff?
That
if you
is,
look at the depth chart, it's Tyler Goodson.
yeah, I know
DJ Giddens is the. I know.
He's been inactive, but we do see sometimes when the injury happens, they change the role. So the one league that I have Taylor, I drafted Giddens and I've been holding on to him. Like I've been debating, do I cut him? But I've held on to him. I would think Giddens plays a bigger role though if Taylor were to go down. I can't see them going with like Abdullah and Goodson.
No, I couldn't see him doing both. No, not Abdullah. But I think that's. It's a good question because of everything that Jonathan Taylor's been able to do this season. Let me look at
the offense too.
I think it's Goodson. 9%. Well, I'm looking at the utilization report now. Because Amir Abdullah is technically second in utilization with targets per route run, routes, rush attempts, snaps.
But it's kind of a situation like Buffalo where we've not seen Ray Davis get much, but I think it would be him.
So you think it'd be Goodson?
I think it might be Giddens, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I
Great.
don't think they go to Abdullah for sure. And Goodson maybe more the pass catching back. I don't know. I kind of feel it could be Giddens.
I still have Giddens in one for the same reason as you, but I saw someone a couple weeks ago pick up Tyler Goodson. Wow, this is going to get confusing.
I hope that we don't ever have to see the results of this. Just let Jonathan Taylor stay healthy.
Please, Jonathan Taylor.
And that's it.
We had a great newsletter today, by the way. If you guys do want to go check out handcuffs to add ahead of week 10, Pete did a great write-up on that. So you guys, it's live at fantasylife.com. But make sure, that's why, just be subscribed to the newsletter as well. Because a lot about what we talk about during the shows are already written out in that newsletter. So make sure you go and look at that. But so it would be Giddens. Giddens, then Goodson. Sorry.
And Ian Hartitz has an article with the updated running back handcuff tiers as well.
Who did he have there? He had Giddens. I think he did,
Giddens
more. Yeah. So it would be Giddens then Goodson. How many times can we say that? 6, 7, 8. All right. We're going to keep it on. But we appreciate you, Eddie. I definitely saw that back and forth.
He has muddled situations for the Colts, DJ Giddens and Amir Abdullah. So basically, yeah, kind of what I thought the same thing too.
Would Abdullah be more of the pass catcher there, though? Because I don't think any single one of those, it's not a one, obviously. It's not a one-for-one for Jonathan Taylor.
Not.
So would it be Abdullah getting the passing down work and then Giddens
the early down work? Could be, yeah.
That's maybe how you could look at it.
I think what happens is people see, I think Giddens has been inactive the last 2 weeks, I believe. Mm-hmm. So people see that and think like, oh, it's not going to be him. But we all know special teams plays a role for whether guys are active or not. And then if the back were to go down, it doesn't mean, oh, the guy who's been playing moves up. It doesn't work like that always.
Well, it's kind of like how we know that if for whatever reason something happened to Javonte, Jaden Blue has been inactive, but we know that he'd step up into that role.
I don't know if he would.
What? You don't think so still?
And they
I'm holding
released
on to him.
Malik Davis.
I
I'd
did
say
see that.
the guy to keep an eye on is Phil Maffa.
I can't
He's
keep
been
up
hurt.
with this.
I know.
What are we doing? Come on. I've been holding on to Jaden Blue. Ugh.
They don't like, clearly
They
he's
don't
another
like-
guy too. They do not like him.
What has been
They were
going on?
criticizing him for mistakes he made in that game that he was active last. So yeah, he has not endeared himself to the coaching staff, and this has been something that's been
fantastic.
going on the whole
Phil
year.
Maffa's on IR.
I know,
isn't
but
he?
I think he's ready to come back soon.
Oh, is he? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't. I haven't been paying attention to when he's able to come back. All right, well that's fine. Another muddied backfield. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that at all for Javonte Williams or Jonathan Taylor. So please just keep doing what you're doing. The game tonight, lineup locks or things that you're looking at here. Again, this is going to be a good one for the Denver Broncos. More than likely, you're starting J.K. Dobbins, Courtland Sutton. I know I have to put a flyer out there on Troy Franklin, but that hasn't been awful the last couple of weeks here. RJ Harvey, what are your expectations in this one?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a game Denver should control. I just worry about they just have not looked sharp. It is a divisional game. The Raiders, though, coming off that overtime on a short week on the road, that's what really probably favors Denver a lot. So, yeah, your Troy Franklin, Courtland Sutton, Dobbins, those are the guys, and obviously Bowers. Again, Harvey is just risky. You're relying on a touchdown.
You can upgrade the receivers, though, because this Raiders pass defense has been hurting a lot. So hopefully a good game. You take the Broncos in this one?
Yes.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Everyone say good luck to Adam's game tonight in softball. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us here today. We'll see you on Friday. Same time here tomorrow.